Hello, friends. Long before cities, before kingdoms, before even the memory of time, there was a bargain, a dark, ancient pact, forged not in heaven, but in the cold fires beneath the earth. This was not a tale passed down by priests or scribes. No scripture recorded it, no prophet dared whisper it, but the soil remembers. In the dawn of the world, when death was still new, human souls wandered in confusion after the body failed. Some returned to the wind, some to the stars, but others lingered. They clung to the bones, to the rot, to the pain of living unfinished lives. The devil, he watched. He saw that the wicked did not vanish. They stayed, they haunted the flesh, and they tainted the land. So he made an offer to the gods. "Let me deal with the dead," he said, "the evil ones. Let me bind them, seal them, lock them away from your fragile, growing world." And in return, he asked for burial. He would build prisons of wood and stone and iron, boxes, vaults, coffins. He would command the wicked dead to be shut away, deep in dry ground, never to return to the cycle of life. No root would touch their flesh, no tree would drink their blood, no animal would feast on their marrow. They would be sterile, isolated, and forever forgotten. The good, the good, they were a different matter. For them, no box, no stone, no interruption. Their bodies were returned gently, lovingly, 3 feet beneath the skin of the world. There they became nourishment. They were food for worms, for roots, for fungi. And as the centuries passed, where the good were buried, forests grew, ancient groves teeming with emerald leaves and old spirits, soil thick and black with life, earth that remembered laughter, kindness, and sacrifice. The trees whispered their names. The wind carried their wisdom, and flowers bloomed where their hearts once beat. But those forests, they are dying, because the devil's bargain has spread. Coffins now are everywhere. Even the good are locked in pine prisons, wrapped in silk, embalmed in poison, buried in cement. They no longer feed the soil. They do not return. And so the land withers. The trees grow silent. The ground starves. And somewhere deep beneath, the devil laughs, because his bargain was never about justice. It was about denial, about severing the chain, breaking the loop, stealing the future. But still, some remember. Old tribes, hidden monks, forest folk with soil beneath their fingernails. They bury without boxes. They honor the old way, 3 feet, no more, no less. They say the forest sings when a soul returns. They say mushrooms bloom in shapes of forgotten faces. They say the devil cannot enter those woods. If you ever walk through a grove that feels alive, where the air hums and the roots rise like veins, stop. Listen. You may be standing over someone who lived well, someone who returned what they borrowed, someone who refused the devil's tomb. And if you lie down, very still, you might hear the forest breathe, and it will whisper, "Thank you." It is said that the devil himself went to the Almighty and struck a bargain. He said, "Let me deal with the dead, the evil ones. Let me bind them, seal them, lock them away from your fragile growing world." And in return, he asked only for burial. "I will build prisons of wood and stone and iron, boxes, vaults, coffins. I will command the wicked dead to be shut away, deep in dry ground, never to return to the cycle of life." But it wasn't just the bodies that he locked away. It was their souls, too. He wove wards around each grave, each tomb, each coffin, keeping the spirits captive and the land they haunted, barren. Only where the truly innocent were laid to rest did he allow the earth to swallow them whole. There their essence mingled with the soil, becoming one with the roots and the creatures of the night. As the years turned to decades and the decades to centuries, These graves became monuments to man's hubris, mocking reminders of our mortality, our folly, our capacity for both great love and unspeakable evil. We have become a species tethered to the soil, yet severed from it. We live on its bounty, but no longer return what we borrow. Now the bargain's been broken, the balance tipped. The devil has won. The devil's dirt, it's spreading. Wherever it touches, it withers. The devil's bargains poisoned the land, poisoned the water, poisoned the very air we breathe. Now the soil starves, its children are dying, the trees are going blind and deaf, the animals are running mad, the crops are failing, famine stalks the land, reaping the harvest of our folly. But hope is not lost. Deep in forbidden groves, far from the eyes of men, a few brave souls remain. They whisper of an ancient right, a sacred duty to return what we borrow. They speak of forests that remember, that sing, that bloom anew when a soul is returned to the earth. They tell of meadows carpeted in bone-white flowers, where the devil's chains are broken and the dead walk free. They speak of mountains where the trees bear fruit and the rivers flow with wine, where the dead feast and dance and the veil between worlds is thin as gossamer. They sing of valleys where the grass is always green and the fruit hangs heavy on the vine, where the dead find peace and the living find solace. They tell of ancient rites and secret places, of rituals that call the dead home, that bring the sleeping earth back to life. They teach the children of men to listen to the wind in the trees, to hear the whispers of the dead, to feel the pulse of the earth beneath their feet. They show them how to walk the sacred path, to speak the ancient words, to light the sacred fire. They teach them that the dead are never gone, that their spirits linger close beside, that their presence is a blessing, not a curse. For the forest remembers. The forest sings. When a soul is returned to the earth, the forest breathes again. The trees rustle their leaves in greeting. The flowers open wide their fragrant blooms. The birds return to their ancient nests. The animals come to drink their fill of the sweet waters of life. The forest rejoices when a soul is returned to the earth. Here, in the shadow of the old oak, under the boughs of the sheltering elm, here where the sunlight filters through the emerald leaves, the forest sings. The melody rises and falls, echoing the rhythm of the earth. It speaks of seasons turning, of life and death and rebirth, of the eternal cycle of nature. Here in this sacred place, the forest tells the story of the world. O ancient forest, ancient and wise, your roots run deep in the earth, your branches reach high to the sky. You have seen the rise and fall of empires, the birth and death of stars. You have felt the pulse of the earth, the heartbeat of the world. You are the keepers of the ancient lore, the guardians of the sacred flame. You are the bridge between worlds, the pathway between life and death. O ancient forest, ancient and wise, your wisdom is beyond our ken. Your power knows no bounds. Teach us the ways of the earth. Show us the path to follow. Guide us in the darkness, lead us to the light. Help us to understand the language of the birds, the whisper of the leaves, the murmur of the stream. Help us to see the magic in the mundane, the wonder in the everyday. Help us to hear the music of the spheres, the harmony of the cosmos. Help us to feel the unity of all things, the oneness of life, the interconnectedness of all beings. O ancient forest, ancient and wise, we come to you seeking wisdom, seeking guidance, seeking solace. Help us to heal the wounds of the world, to mend the broken web of life. Help us to restore the balance, to bring harmony to chaos. Help us to awaken to our true nature, to realize our potential, to fulfill our destiny.